Hey, how are you today? Thank you for coming back to Adam's Music. Today, we are going to be learning about the difference between open chords and bar chords. So, if you look at that screen back here, we've got a diagram of an open E chord and an F bar chord. Now, I know what you're thinking. You saw the preview of the pretty girl with the guitar, and you're thinking, this is going to be great. I'm going to get to watch her and learn how to play guitar at the same time. Well, she's one of my students. I'm teaching her how to play. She's not quite ready to teach you how to play yet, so you're going to have to settle for me. But hey, I'm a funny guy, right? So anyway, let's get started. When we first start learning how to play guitar, we learn open chords typically. One of those chords would be a G chord. Why is that called a G open chord? Well, it's because we're only fingering three of these notes: G, B, and G. High and low Gs, and a B down here. That's what makes our G open chord. Now, if we wanted to make a G bar chord, we're going to have to take our pointer finger and we're going to have to bar across all these strings. That's literally like a bar that goes across the strings. Okay? Except it's spelled B-A-R-R-E. Okay, so let's figure out how to do that. Some of these other open chords, we got a D because there's a low D in the chord. The rest are all fingered, but that D is open. We have an open A where the A is open, an open C. The C is fingered, but you have some open strings in there. And then finally, we're going to get to the open E chord like this. E has an open E on the bottom and the top. It also has an open B here, but there's three fingers in the middle that are blocking off notes to create that open E. So this shape here, look at the screen, you can see that shape where I'm doing my pointer first on the G sharp. On the E, I've got my ring finger, and on the B, I got my middle finger. Now, if I rearrange my fingers just a little bit here, where I take the pointer and I put it where my, I take my middle and I put it where my pointer was. And then I take my ring and my pinky and I put them where my middle and my ring were. Same open E chord, okay? Except now we've got flexibility to slide around the neck in the bar chord shape, which is based on the E open chord. What we're going to do is we're going to slide our E chord one fret up, and then we're going to take our pointer finger and we're going to bar it across the entire first fret. Now, what chord do we have there? That's right, we have a F bar chord. And if we go up the neck all the way, we can hit every major chord in the scale. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and E. Now, what's the difference between this E here and this E? That's right, this is one octave that goes all the way up. Low E, high E. Okay, one octave up. Bar chords like this are super flexible and super usable. There's a million rock songs from over the years that have used just bar chords where they... Millions of songs use just these. We also want to learn the A, open A chord here. Okay? If we use that as the basis for a bar chord, we're not going to hit this low E string because the A string is now going to be the note that controls the bass note of the chord. Okay? So let's say we go to a D chord here. Now we need to bar off the rest of the chord. Just like that A shape here, we're going to bar off the D like this. Okay, so we can go play a pattern here. We're going to do D, E, F sharp, and back to E. Very common progression in a lot of rock music. So we've learned two bar patterns here, one based off the E. If you look at the back here on the screen, you can see that E shape, and you can see the F shape, right? Here's F sharp. Now, if we want to make a minor chord from a major chord, If you saw the last video, you should really go back and check that one out. That explains the difference between a major and a minor chord. Basically, we're going to make the third note in the scale flat to make a minor chord. So if we went from E major to E minor, all we do is change this G sharp right here. We pull that off and we make that a G. That's now E minor. Okay. If we want to do the same thing, let's say we did an F sharp major and we wanted an F sharp minor. Same thing, we're going to pull off that third note in the scale. In this case, it's where my middle finger is. You hear how that went kind of sad, mysterious there? Let's look at an A chord. A major, A minor. A minor, we're going to pull that C sharp down to a C by lifting off our middle finger. Now, one of the things about bar chords that makes it easier to play, they are hard in the beginning to play, but they get easier. And one of those tricks is you got to use your thumb, okay? Your thumb is going to be used like a clamp on the back of the neck. You need to kind of press on the back of your neck towards the front of the guitar, and then your pointer is going to pull back, and it works kind of like a clamp, you'd see, right? Makes it much easier. If you just try to take your hand and just press down without using your thumb, if your thumb's loose up here, that's really hard to do. So you got to use your thumb like a clamp on the back side. Now I can go from an A major to an E minor much easier by just lifting off that middle finger, okay? So if we were to play a major bar chord to a minor bar chord, what would we do? We could start with an A and we'd go down to F sharp minor, because F sharp minor is the relative minor of A major. So let's play that A major chord. And if we slide down here, while we're in transition, we can pull our middle finger off. It's basically the same shape, right? All we're doing is pulling off one finger. A major, F sharp minor. And those two work very well together because the F sharp minor is the sixth in the A major scale, or the relative minor of the A major, okay? A major, F sharp minor. And that's our lesson today about bar chords, both in the E major shape and the A major shape. We also touched on minor bar chords as well. So if you could do me a huge favor, give me a like on this video, subscribe to my channel too, because I got a lot more videos coming where I'm going to teach you how to play different things about music theory, and maybe we'll do some songs. Maybe we're going to talk about gigging, like how to get gigs, how to get your first gig, how to get more gigs if you are already a gigging guitarist, and then maybe about how to make a little bit more money at a gig that you have. So I want to say thank you for coming to Adam's Music. You're awesome. And you know what? Give me a comment. Let me know what you want to hear in another one of my lessons. So once again, thank you. We will see you next time on Adam's Music. Take it easy.